Hi and welcome to Rise Up with Vicky Ross. Today I'd like to talk a little bit more about venting because a lot of people think that venting is normal and is good for you. So let's get into it. We've all been told that venting helps, get it out, stop keeping it in. But here's what your brain is really doing when you keep talking about what went wrong. It learns that this is something that you want. It kind of has the logic of, well, if you keep doing it, it must be something that you want. So therefore, it's going to find ways to make it easier for you to access that kind of information. So if venting is about something that is unpleasant for you, something that's pissing you off, something that you are feeling not so good about, then you have to ask yourself if this is what you want to keep repeating. So here's where I think the problem really lies. Is that whatever we're thinking, whatever we're saying, whether we realize it or not, we're making internal images. So when we are venting about something, we are re-seeing, and that is why we are repeating the whole event. So because your brain can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy, when you're venting and therefore recreating and therefore re-seeing something, your brain thinks that you are re-experiencing that same event when actually you're not. So, for instance, if you had a terrible fight with your partner and then you play it in your mind over and over and over again, in your mind, all you're doing, and this is a conscious kind of thing, you're saying, okay, I'm just remembering, I'm replaying what happened. But because the unconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy, it kind of feels that it's actually reliving. So instead of having one fight, you've had 10 fights now. And therefore your feelings about that will amplify. And the brain will say, because you keep going back there, this must be important, so I'm going to pay attention. So I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to make it easier for you to access. And therefore you're going to get the sadness or the anger or the anxiety, whatever the emotion was that came up with this fight, easier, and it will become very accessible to you. So we've got to be very, very careful about what it is that we're venting, and is venting something useful. And then you have to ask yourself, an event that has happened, it's over. What is it about that event that you want to keep repeating to others by gossiping, sharing, whatever you want to call it, or by rethinking about it yourself? So where if you're venting, you're telling somebody about an event that has happened, that is in the past. What is it about that? Are you asking for understanding? Are you asking for advice? Are you asking for help? Or are you telling someone what happened because you want a kind of a recognition, like, oh my goodness, you suffered so much. So you want others to recognize and see your suffering. And then you have to ask yourself, if that is what's going on, so, is it to see your suffering? Is it to see your power, perhaps? Oh, look, we had this fight and I won the fight, and I want everybody to know that I won the fight, and therefore I vent and I share the information, and they see how powerful I am, or they see how distressed I am, or they see what a victim I am, or they see my suffering. So whatever it is that you want others to see in you will be one of the reasons that you vent. So then you have to ask yourself again the question, what is the need that I have to be seen for this? Because venting never actually gives you something that is good for you. It's best to question the motive and the reason behind the venting. So in my work, this is where I use what I call the AIR method, which is all about bringing an awareness so that I am now aware that I am venting, that I'm complaining, I'm gossiping, or whatever it is, I'm aware. I've become aware that I'm repeating patterns, I'm enforcing patterns, I'm enforcing ways of being. And in my reflection, I kind of realize I don't want this. So with the air, we have the awareness, the eyes, we've got to interrupt it. So the next time I go and tell somebody, it's best to go, actually, you know what, I don't want to talk about this. Or when you think about it, you say to yourself, stop, no, this is not what I want to do. I do not want to repeat this to myself. And therefore, whichever way, and there's lots of different ways that you can interrupt a pattern. And then the R in air is to rewire. So this is a hard part. Yet it isn't. It's a little bit of both, really, because it's the rewiring. And people go, well, I only know how to be myself. And if who you are is the person that vents because they want to be seen as the victim they are, or they want to be seen as the powerful person they are, or they want to be seen for their significance, whatever it is, and that is not giving you the outcome that you want, then you have to rewire the way that you react, the way that you respond to triggers, the way that you react to circumstances, and ask yourself, if this happens in the future now, what would I choose to do differently? How would I want to show up? How do I want to be? And therefore, this is the rewiring, and this is the part where we have to rehearse a new personality so that we can have a new reality. Because who I am creates what I do, and what I do creates the life that I have. So if what I have is not 100% what I want, I have to go back and ask myself, which part of me behaves in a way that gets this outcome, and therefore, what do I need to change in myself? So I hope you found this interesting, reflective, and I look forward to reading your comments and connecting with you in the future. I wish you well, and here's to your success.